Mass suicide, human sacrifice, unholy rituals. They had torn vertebrae from his spine to fashion a necklace and placed his body parts into a cauldron. Throughout history, individuals have claimed to possess otherworldly knowledge and have led their followers to commit horrific acts of violence. Are such leaders simply con artists? Are they insane? Or could the voices in their heads truly be of extraterrestrial origin? Marshall Applewhite claimed that he was chosen to reveal the truth as known to alien beings. His followers believed that these gods wanted them to commit these acts. We must ask ourselves, are these beings acting merely for their own amusement, or are they possibly guiding us towards something they desire? Millions of people worldwide believe that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth in the distant past. What if this belief is true? Did ancient aliens truly help shape our history? And might they be the driving force behind humanity's deadliest cults? San Diego, California, March 26, 1997. Inside a multi-million-dollar mansion in the gated community of Rancho Santa Fe, police make a bizarre and chilling discovery. 39 bodies, all dressed identically, wearing the same Nike sneakers, each covered by a purple shroud, and all with the same haircut. Everything points to a mass suicide. 39 carefully arranged corpses, the final act of devotion to the charismatic leader Marshall Applewhite, who led the Heaven's Gate cult. "We know one thing," Applewhite said. "We do not care to cling to this body's life." He believed that on that particular night a UFO would appear, and members of Heaven's Gate would commit mass suicide. Their souls, he claimed, would then be beamed aboard the UFO. "We're ready to leave this place," he declared. Marshall Applewhite, Charles Manson, Adolfo Constanzo, Shoko Asahara. Today, cult leaders are often dismissed as con men, hucksters, or the criminally insane. But in the ancient world, entire empires were ruled by men who claimed a direct link to higher powers. The Roman Emperor Caligula, perhaps the most infamous, ruthless, and sadistic ruler of ancient Rome, even replaced the heads of divine statues with his own. The Romans inherited this concept from the Greeks and Egyptians. Ancient Egypt's kingship was built on the belief in a divine king named Osiris, who came from the sky to rule Egypt with his sister wife Isis. Their offspring Horus would be reborn in every pharaoh. Each pharaoh considered himself the incarnation of Horus, and he truly believed it. With this divine authority, pharaohs built the pyramids and Luxor's temple complex, as people served what they believed to be a living god. Were these ancient kings, pharaohs, and religious leaders merely deceiving their people by claiming divine connections? Or might they have actually made contact with divine, or as some say, otherworldly beings? If we examine those ancient belief systems where rulers were not only divine representatives of the gods but also gods themselves, we can see parallels with modern cults. Gods and aliens may indeed be the same entities, simply known by different names. Could a visitor from another planet be mistaken for a god? It might just be our terminology that differs. While recovering in the hospital from a heart attack in the early 1970s, Marshall Applewhite claimed to have a vision. He and his nurse, Bonnie Nettles, were, he said, the two witnesses described in the book of Revelation. After further visions, Applewhite's story evolved. He told his followers that he and Nettles were actually aliens inhabiting human bodies. Applewhite insisted he was the exclusive conduit through which a power from outer space communicated with the world. He had been chosen to reveal the truth known to superior alien beings. "Part of our test of faith is hating this world," he said, "even our fleshly bodies, enough to leave them without any proof other than what we have come to know." Whether Applewhite's visions were real or imagined, he believed them completely. He went so far as to surgically castrate himself, in line with his teachings that highly evolved beings would have no sexual characteristics. A mere con artist wouldn't likely take such an extreme step. If Applewhite was truly contacted by extraterrestrials, were they the same beings that ancient astronaut theorists claim visited Earth thousands of years ago? And if so, why would these aliens betray and deceive him? Some believe the answer lies in the creation stories of the Sumerians in Mesopotamia, Earth's oldest known civilization. Ancient Mesopotamian stories describe how extraterrestrial beings wanted to maintain control over humanity. In Sumerian mythology, the god Enki created humans as slaves. However, Enki's superiors forbade him from revealing humanity's true origins, fearing revolt. This intent, to keep humans ignorant, is found in many ancient creation stories, including the biblical tale of Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve sought the forbidden fruit, symbolizing knowledge, the gods denied them access. According to ancient Sumerian texts, Enki defied his superiors and gave forbidden knowledge to a secret society known as the Brotherhood of the Snake. Initially benevolent, the Brotherhood was later corrupted by other gods, turning it into a sinister force that distorted humanity's understanding of their origins. According to legend, the original Brotherhood split into numerous cults, still fighting each other today. Perhaps we are worshipping the same beings under different names, misunderstanding their nature as gods, rather than advanced creatures who have visited Earth for a long time. If extraterrestrials posed as false gods to control humanity, could they have appeared to Marshall Applewhite and manipulated him and his followers into committing horrific ritual suicide? Ancient astronaut theorists believe the answer is a chilling yes. They point to another case, Adolfo Constanzo, a Mexican drug lord who is believed to possess supernatural powers. In 1989, while investigating the disappearance of an American college student, police discovered 12 bodies on Constanzo's property. Some victims had been shot, others hacked to death, and one was mutilated, his vertebrae fashioned into a necklace, his body parts boiled in a cauldron. Constanzo's followers firmly believed in his supernatural abilities, which allowed him to murder at least 23 people. Was he simply insane or evil? Or, as he told his followers, was he guided by otherworldly beings? Constanzo practiced palo mayombe, a type of sorcery derived from African religions. He performed rituals involving dismembered human remains to cast spells protecting drug traffickers. He claimed he could protect them from police and bullets, and they believed him. Scholars note that palo mayombe incorporates gods from various West African traditions. Constanzo claimed a direct connection to Kadiampembe, known in Yoruba as Eshu, a trickster god often depicted with elongated features and large eyes, resembling modern depictions of gray extraterrestrials. Could Constanzo have been in contact with an extraterrestrial being? If so, what does that imply about the motives of alien visitors? Eshu, the trickster god, speaks all languages, changes form, deceives, destroys, or creates opportunities as he pleases. He can tell the truth 3 times, then lie on the 4th, ensnaring his victims. Similarly represented in Haitian voodoo as Papa Legba, this same trickster energy is linked to notorious mass murderer David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, who claimed he received orders from dogs. Could Papa Legba have spoken through these animals, influencing Berkowitz's crimes around the world? Ancient legends describe trickster gods, Loki among the Norse, the coyote among Native Americans, Kokopelli among the Anasazi, Tezcatlipoca among the Aztecs, and even the Christian Satan. Are these beings merely amusing themselves, or leading us towards something they desire? Perhaps these so-called gods were never gods at all, but extraterrestrials posing as deities. Modern UFO contact stories often contain a trickster element. Consider Spectra, said to be an alien intelligence orbiting Earth in the early 1970s, contacting psychic Uri Geller and others. Spectra offered insights and predictions, then lied about the world's end, leaving believers disillusioned. Could Spectra have been a hoax? Or another trickster entity sending false messages? Might similar extraterrestrial forces have influenced Adolfo Constanzo and others? As we move into the 21st century, just as old gods have been reimagined as aliens or interdimensional beings, these tricksters may still be at play. Being extraterrestrial doesn't exclude the possibility of deception. Constanzo was cornered by police on May 6, 1989, and ordered one of his disciples to shoot him. He may have murdered 20 to 40 people, but what if a similar deadly cult, influenced by such a trickster entity, were allowed to persist for centuries? This happened with the Thuggee cult in India, responsible for nearly 2 million deaths over hundreds of years, possibly devoting these killings to the goddess Kali. Kali, with her terrifying aspects, might represent an extraterrestrial mistaken for a god desiring human blood. Across ancient cultures, human sacrifice was offered to gods who may have been extraterrestrials, from the Incas on mountaintops to the Aztecs on pyramids, shedding blood for divine favor. Did these aliens demand human sacrifice? Or is this merely our misunderstanding? Some cults don't just kill others. They lead their followers to sacrifice themselves. 4th century North African circumcellions sought martyrdom. They provoked violence so others would kill them, believing death would grant them entry to heaven. Gnostics taught that the world was made by lesser beings, archons, demonic extraterrestrials feeding on human misery. Could such cosmic connections drive people toward suicide or martyrdom? In modern times, 3 separate cults, the Order of the Solar Temple, Heaven's Gate, and the Movement for the Restoration of the 10 Commandments, claim to receive extraterrestrial messages. All ended in mass suicides and murders within a 5-year span, claiming over 1,000 lives.